In this video, we're going to finish out activity 1.2.2, which is called 3D solid modeling, with creating the very last construction block called the arch block. In this one, we're going to make sure that we're in our proper folder, and we're going to go ahead and create by selecting the blue create button and select document. This one, we'll call this the arch and select create, loading us into the Part Studio. I'm going to select on the front plane by right-clicking. When I have the cursor on top of the plane, right-click and select New Sketch, and we'll see Sketch 1 appears on that front plane. I'm going to right-click on the top plane in the browser and select Hide All Planes. In order to get us to take a look at the view normal, if I right-click, I can also say View Normal to Sketch Plane. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take a corner rectangle. So I'll select that option. If you don't see it, click the little drop down arrow and you can always select it from the menu as well. And I'm going to select the corner of for the first corner, it's going to be right at the origin, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle. As far as the height goes, so you'll see the box around this dimension. The height of it is going to be 1.125 or 1/8. Select enter once you have the value. And then the width is going to be 2 5/16, which is 2.313. And select enter. So this will give us the overall outline of our arch block. And we can go ahead and right click and select escape rectangle to stop drawing the rectangle tool. And right click and say confirm sketch 1. We have a fully constrained sketch. And I can go ahead and right click and put this into isometric view. I'll select the extrude command, select the profile. I'm going to go into the opposite direction, and the extrusion depth is 1.125 or 1/8. And I'll select the green check mark. So now what we have to do is we have to take a look at how are we going to create the opening in the bottom of this arch block. So in this case, I'm going to go up here and grab Sketch, and it says we need to pick a sketch plane. So I'm actually going to select the front face of our rectangular prism here that we've drawn and modeled, and I'm going to set the sketch right there on the face. Again, I'm going to press the N key on the keyboard to turn it to normal to our view, and then I'm going to go up here and grab the center point circle. As I go along this line, we can go ahead and we can try to take a look, and actually when we're right here in the middle, you're going to see there's an icon that's going to pop up, and it kind of snaps your cursor into place. So this is like the midpoint. We can also do it along any of the lines that you have here. When you get right in the middle, you'll see actually there's also a little icon that shows that there's a dot right in the middle of a line. So that's showing you the midpoint. I'm going to go ahead and select that when I see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and move outward and draw in my circle. Okay. The diameter of the circle is 1.375, just like the diameter we drew for the semicircle. And in a very similar manner, we're going to utilize the trim tool and select the bottom part of the circle. Now notice how everything gets highlighted. So what we might have to do is grab our line tool and go ahead and draw in a connection line and escape, just like how we did in the last video. Now we have two separate profiles to pick from. If I select trim and then select the bottom, notice how it only highlights the bottom portion, and that way we have just this closed loop profile that we're going to use. I'm going to select the green check mark to finish the sketch. Right click and select isometric. Select the extrude command, and I'm going to select this profile on the inside. At first, Onshape thinks that you want to add on to it, but actually, if I send it in the opposite direction, it's going to show red, and it says Boolean, the parts are going to intersect one another. So actually right now, under this it says we're going to add. Actually, we want to remove, and notice how it kind of changed right there. And rather than doing blind, I'm just going to go ahead and say from the little drop down through all, And that is going to, as I rotate around, it's going to show me a preview that it's going to cut all the way through the part. And I'll go ahead and select the green check mark to accept that. So now here's our arch block. So we just did a subtractive modeling process to be able to get that opening for the arch block. Okay. I can right click and select isometric to bring that back. Let's go ahead and hide that origin by selecting the eyeball next to the name in the browser. Let's rename by right clicking on part 1 and selecting rename. We'll call this the arch. We'll right click on the arch name, assign the material. I've been using poplar as just an example. And then just select the green check mark. Right click on the arch name once more. Let's edit the appearance. And I'm going to choose this color and select the green check mark. So this finishes out the arch block for our construction block set, and it is the final and 9th block that we find within our construction block set. So here's where you can take a look at it and be able to rotate around. If I click on the Onshape menu, you're going to see if I refresh, it'll show the most updated version of that model that we have created. So this finishes out activity 1.2.2, 3D solid modeling, and hopefully from this, with the basic shapes we've modeled, you're going to get a good foundation under you for Onshape. Onshape's a very valuable tool, does a really great job, and of course keeps everything really well organized and ready to go. So once you have all 9 shapes in there, you can see how your teacher would like you to submit and be able to see some of those things.